Margaret Windsor, kidnapped in 41 and brought to Moulton, Alabama. And this is a family. I was dropped off, and this photo was made in the summer of 43. That's me. That's the woman that kidnapped her, that helped in my kidnapping because she had killed her twins. This one on the end, Lina. That's the family. And she had killed her twins, and the family covered it up. It was Peggy and Carl Dempsey. I was kidnapped from Buckingham Palace, and my uncle helped in the kidnapping, George VI, illegal. He's with Roosevelt, 39 the year I was born. 41 was when I was kidnapped, and all the treaties are illegal. So look at what happened after I was kidnapped. 99 years still put on it to cover it up. This is Elizabeth, illegal. Part of the New World Order, the people, the Freemasons, Illuminati that kidnapped me. But I guess I showed this. This is pictures in high school. I just got these. And this is the double that married Wallace Simpson, not my father. This is my Aunt Georgia O'Keeffe. My mother was a teacher. She's an artist. My mother was a teacher, Claudia Ruth. The O'Keeffe genealogy. This is my mom, Claudia. This is my dad, King Edward VIII, the good man that was forced out by the Illuminati. And the only other thing I'm going to put here is, because I have something else I want to say in case this is ever told and I'm alive, because Joe Kennedy got in on my kidnapping. He was appointed ambassador by Roosevelt. Now, I want to make a statement here. In all of this, guess who comes out smelling like roses? The woman that gave away my country. She's living on my money, her and that whole brood. And if the world ever sees what's been done to me here and my family and my country, I don't think they'd like it, you know? She's gotten away with it so far. They control the press. I was brought, Moulton is near Huntsville, Alabama. Redstone Arsenal, where NASA and all that became. The money, my hostage money, which involved more than money, crossing palms, it was like bringing in scientists like Werner von Braun, etc., to the Space Center, and then later they called Cape Canaveral Cape Kennedy. The Kennedys helped kidnap me. That's why it was a cover-up, the Warren Commission. It would lead back to me, and also mind control was used in it, just like the Martin Luther King. So I'm going to say this, Martin Luther King partnered with the Kennedys. They knew about my kidnapping. On April Fool Day of 80, I had antifreeze put in me and should have died. I'd done a medical malpractice book about mind control. Didn't find out about my kidnapping until late 83. Larry Flint had been shot and his attorney killed in Lawrenceville. And the person was programmed to shoot him and kill his attorney. They didn't tell about this in the movie. So this is where I was flown out to his place after Larry McDonald, the Dr. Congressman. He mentions in here that I knew about the shooting, and right here. He's got the name Murphy, which is, you know. But in other words, the Brits and Germans paid for Redstone and my hell and my father's and all these people. The King's speech, you think he's a nice man. My father's, everything's been a total lie. I mean, it's hard to believe. It really is. 99 years still on it, should have told you. What I wanted to say was, had Lina Dempsey, that her twins were born out of wedlock. And had any of this been told, she would have faced the death penalty. I didn't know it until 83 after I'd done the book, and I thought it was the medical malpractice book. and all the names in it. Larry McDonald, Congressman, the death of Warren and Rosina Matthews at Piedmont Hospital, and Gene Srokerman, and connections to Emory University and the Center for Disease Control. All this was in the book, and then had a letter from the FBI, June the 23rd, 79, antifreeze put in the April Fool Day of 80. This has been like an April Fool joke to the Americans, most of them. There are a handful, and I don't mean those, that have tried to help. But it's been the British, the citizens, and the Germans, and some others that kept me alive and tried to help. Now then, nobody cares about me being ripped out of the arms of my loving parents and what was done to them. So what I wanted to get to here, I put it all on YouTube. I wrote about mind control murders. I said that Larry Flint was one of them that was shot in the personal program. You get into the Virginia Tech. I ended up here living on the Appalachian Trail, freezing and starving, in 86 October. And, people have looked at me like I'm garbage. They've treated me worse than you'd treat the worst bug you stepped on or sprayed. And that's sincere if this is ever told. It's hideous. The people that did all this to me, I was looking back, because I didn't know, they've used hypnosis. And I want to say this, I didn't get the letter out, but a friend of mine, Jack, I hope you don't mind, Jack, he sent letters I know for me to use over the years, and I have on other videos. But Jack wrote me a letter. He was an FBI agent himself. He's also a reporter for the Huntsville Times and the New Mexican News, which is near where George O'Keefe's Ghost Ranch is, in Abiquiu, New Mexico, my aunt. But he wrote letters to me, and in it he said in 1941 or 42, that's when I was kidnapped in 41 and brought to Moulton, which is near Huntsville. He said the FBI had a Division 5 there. It was so secret that it didn't exist, and it was like the secret police. So you keep fast forwarding, and I'm just going to go to where I didn't remember having a baby daughter. I didn't even know what sex was or anything. I was in the 9th grade. And Philip, that I grew up with, he was brought there. I thought he was a half-brother. And he just retired from one of the agencies, ATF. I'm afraid to even, you can't tell the truth in all this. Everybody wants me dead to cover it all up. I'm 75 years old. I'm not far from it now. I don't know where my sons, Mark and Scott, are either. And they're heirs after me, and that's why we wanted dead, because it would rock the world, financial and all, if you told the truth, America, and the Windsors and the Jews, and the Kennedys. My mom was, by the way, my mother was Catholic, Irish. How about that, Joe Kennedy? And he took her out with my father and me. And by the way, real quick, because I wanted to get to this last thing on here. When I was living on the Appalachian Trail, and I was brought to, it's like Alpha and Omega. Comes from the book and from something else there in Atlanta that happened. Gag order was put on a suit, a gag order. I was living off Mountain Pass Road, which is not far from where I'm at right now, near Roanoke Travel. And that was the old trail. And the new trail hadn't been constructed. And so I had to walk up there 1.5 miles to the, now I'm forgetting, it's to the shelter. It's a hiker shelter, Full Heart Knob. I stayed up there in the winter, froze to death. I didn't even have, a few times, have any kind of a backpack or sleeping bag or anything. So it was brutal, let me clue you. But the first or second winter, and the old trail was still there, wasn't the new one. They were just building it. So this is the timeline. I saw a couple come up the trail, and he came up, and it was a spring. And I said, well, you look like John Kennedy. I was sitting at the picnic table at the old lean-to shack, hiker's shack, that they run me from, by the way. He said, I am John, he's John Jr., Kennedy Jr. and that was the guy that was always his best friend was